Okay then, business items. Now we move to item number 6, discussion and/or action on the approval of tentative agreements between the City of Calexico and the following bargaining units. Number 1, Calexico Firefighters Association. 2, Certified Operators / Service Employees International Union Local 221. 3, Police Officers Association. And 4, Supervisors Association. Mr. City Manager.
We have agreements or tentative agreements that we're bringing to you tonight. A lot of them are 2-year agreements. There's one that's a 1-year agreement. You have a copy of them. They're in the back, along with the backup for the agenda. So I'm not going to read it in detail. I'm just going to read the associations, the timelines, and anybody who wants to look at them, they're certainly in the back and are available. The first union that we have tonight is the Calexico Firefighters Association. Their particular agreement is a 2-year agreement that goes from 2013 to 2015. The union reps have advised me that they have approval on the TAs. So tonight we're asking you to approve the TA so that we can then move forward and modify the existing MOUs to include these changes to that and bring back a complete MOU for your final approval.
Okay. All right, and this was discussed and we know all the details. So is this a vote? This is a vote, right? Okay. Is there a motion on item number 6?
I can
We're going to take it
1. Yeah, one at a time.
One at a time.
The Firefighters Association.
Maybe what we could do, just because I know it was contentious, Mr. Rodriguez, if you don't mind, can you explain to us a little bit about what was asked of you, or that one point about having to increase salaries in order to be able to have the I think it's retirement portion come out, but that the first step is an increase, and then the second step is having it removed or something like that.
In reality, it's not an increase.
I know that I kept asking you to understand it.
There is in some of these agreements, there is a conversion provision. And the conversion provision calls for a certain amount of the employee's payment towards retirement, which the city is currently paying the full amount. So in the regular employees, it's 7%, and the public safety, it's 9%. It calls for some of that to be converted. And what we mean when we say converted is that, for example, in the one of the particular agreements, let's say that there's a 7%. Let's say it's the city employees, and so we got a 7%. So what will happen is we will convert that 7%, and they will now start paying that 7%, and then we will adjust the salary on it, so that the adjustment will basically then eliminate what they're going to be paying, so that it equals out at a zero change. We are asking them to pay for the employee share of retirement, and we in turn are then adjusting the salary, so that the end result is basically 0. The benefits, of course, and it's very straightforward, the benefits from the employee side is that, of course, they raise their adjustment on their salary, which then upon retirement is a higher base. The advantage to the city is that upon doing that, the employees, when they retire, then the new employee that comes in will come in with under the pension reform that was passed by the state of California, which says that come January 1 of this year, new employees coming in will pay for the full portion of their retirement. That's one benefit to the city. The second benefit to the city is that any employee coming in, most of our employees are already at step 5. We have a 5-step system where in between each step they have a merit increase, and it's 5% in between. So most of these employees will come in at a step 1, therefore saving 20% on the salary, which then translates also on the benefit structure. So the idea is that in the future we are positioned in a better position to be able, as the employees come in, to take advantage of the pension reform.
So for clarification and emphasis to the public, this is not really a salary increase.
No, it is not. There are some salary increases in some of these agreements, ranging anywhere between 1, 1.5, 2. And remember that when we say 2 on some of these, it's on a 2-year agreement. So basically, you're really talking on the average of 1% for a year Okay, which, you know, when you look at it, their arguments are, of course, there's a cost of living increase, and we should all look at that. And so we're not talking about 5%, 10% increases here.
Based
On
on
the same
how-
token, so that people are aware of this, and I certainly would advise people to look at these, we also got concessions from the different unions on the medical. Right now, the city pays 100% of the employee's medical coverage for the employee and the family. We have gotten a concession from the employee groups to pay 5% of the premium. On most of them, there is one group that we have a 4-year agreement on where they will pay, they started last year paying 5% of premium. This year, they're up to 10. Next year, they'll be up to 15. And then there's a 4-year increase so that they'll be up to 20% of premium.
Okay.
So we're trying to make sure that we evaluate all of the benefit structures and ease into some of these where the employees are going to, unfortunately, have to pay for some of these benefits because the city can no longer afford them.
It's unfortunate, but that's the reality. Okay, we do have a lot of votes here, so we'll take it one at a time. There are 4 bargaining units under business item number 6. We will start first vote a motion for the Calexico Firefighters Association. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second? Second. All right, very good. Please vote. Does this work? All right, it is approved unanimously. We go to the second bargaining unit, Certified Operators Service Employees International Union Local 221. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All right, once again, Mayor Pro Tem motions.
On
Second.
this, before you vote, Mr.
Yes, sir.
Mayor, just again, I want to make sure that we identify, this is a Calexico Certified Operators. This is a 1-year agreement.
Oh, it's a 1-year.
This is
Thank
a
you for the
2013 to 2014 agreement. So obviously, once we get through approving this, we will go right into negotiations for this coming year.
This is the only
14, 15.
one.
This is, at this time, the
At this
only
time.
1-year agreement.
Okay, very good. Duly noted that distinction. It's been motioned and seconded. Please vote. Passes unanimously. The third one, bargaining unit, Police Officers Association. Is there a motion?
Approve it.
Just to identify it for the record, this is a Calexico Police Officers Association. They have a 2-year agreement
Okay,
for 13 through 15.
all right.
Motion to approve it.
Motioned and second? Second? I'll second.
I second.
Okay, sorry. All right then, please vote. All right, passes unanimously. The last one, bargaining unit number 4, Supervisors Association.
This
Wanna say
particular
something?
agreement is a 2-year agreement from 2013 to 2015.
Okay, is there a motion?
So moved.
Mayor Pro Tem, motion. Second? I'll second. All right, please vote. That one passes unanimously. Yes. Okay. All right then, and we have already discussed and taken action on item number 7. We move down to item number 8, which is the discussion and/or action on the authorization for city manager to sign an agreement with Lee and Rowe Incorporated for compliance consultation, engineering/administrative staff services for the city of Calexico, SWRCB order number 2013-001-DWQ, NPDES permit CA0004. What the hell is
What this basically is
I'm sorry.
we have a permit to discharge and running of our wastewater plant to discharge into the New River. And every so often, there are new regulations that come up into being able to continue to have your permit so that you can discharge. And so there are some new items that have come up, and Lee and Rowe is very familiar with this particular industry. I can personally say that I worked with them with the city of Brawley when we built the wastewater plant there. They were our consultants there. They're very well recognized and know exactly what they're doing. If you want detail on exactly what the regulations are that we're trying to address, our Public Works Director, I'm sure, can tell you. But it's basically to get technical assistance so that we can continue to meet the regulations of the state so that we can continue to discharge into the New River.
All right, that's important. Nick Servine, you want to add something?
The permit is for a MS4, just to make it real short, MS4 compliance, which affects not only the wastewater plant, but all industries, including the private sector. And the bottom line is that, we watch what we do with construction materials, especially we don't want them washing down the driveway, going into the gutters, and eventually into the New River, in this case, out of here. We're very different from the coast, of course, where they're more concerned about the rivers going to the ocean, and therefore the surfers and animal life and so on. So now, like the city manager indicated, it is ongoing compliance, and we have essentially a window of about 2 years, 2014, 2016, to come to full compliance in steps. So the first tier is to have full compliance, and looks like we're achieving that in June of this year. And then once we get through that hurdle, then we go for the other compliance items. And so it's an ongoing project. It's, like I said, it's going to affect all departments, all divisions, and private sectors, as well as homeowners.
Okay, very good. Is there a motion on this item?
So moved.
I have questions.
Okay. Mr. Kim, would you like to second it and then ask questions?
Second for discussion.
For discussion, go right ahead.
So why we cannot do ourselves? Why we have to hire the consultant? Why we cannot do ourselves to comply on this?
Sir, because there's only 24 hours in a day, I can only do so much, and I need staff. I don't have staff. We've been cut down in staff, about 25 members. And so a lot falls on my shoulders and other people that are working with me, and we just don't have the staff.
Thank you for the answer.
All
But
right.
that means like we just like was called we lay off our employee, exchange it to the consultant. Am I correct?
That is correct.
We have to spend one way or the others. We don't have an employee, and then we have to pay for the consultant to finish the job.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Nice music, but can you cut that off? All right, thank you. All right, City Manager?
Just a quick comment, and this is certainly no insult to our staff, because they're very competent people. But when you get into these kind of documentations with your MS4s and certain requirements by the state, they are very technical, highly technical. And most cities will bring in consultants to help you out with this.
All right, understood. Thank you. All right, so there was a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, please vote. Yes, it was. All right, very good. The motion passes 4-1. All right, that's item number 8. Let's move to item number 9. Recommendation is for Council Member Kim to remove his appointee to the Economic Development Commission, an open position to be advertised for the required 10-day period for appointment at the May 20th, 2014 City Council meeting. City Councilman Kim?
Okay, I have something on this. According to our commissioners, my commissioners said there was too short notice to be in the meeting. So they're playing the game not to be there, they're criticizing it. And also, I think the commissioner president is gone, but any commissioners meeting, they're only counting regular meetings absence, not the special meeting. Special meeting, they can be absent, they cannot criticizing it. They only have a 24-hour notice. And also, a lot of commissioners, they were complaining they were not notified. So I really recommend to our staff to do their job right, or make everything in written or documented. They be notified, so they can accuse each other.
All right, sir.
And also, I believe that Mr. Maldonado was resigned. Resigned, so I don't have to pull him out from him. So I'm just gonna be pull out these items because it's been resigned. So we don't have to consider about this. Mr. Maldonado was resigned.
Yes, sir, but what are you going to do? Do you have an appointee? Do we have?
Now
No,
that
this one
there's
has to be pulled out, but it resigned, so it doesn't have to do anything.
Now that there's a resignation, the city clerk will advertise it, and
Yes,
he
that's
can
what I thought.
appoint
Okay.
after 10 days of
That's a proper
advertising.
protocol, okay. And that's all that needs to be acknowledged here. All right, move on to item number 10. It's once again, recommendation is for Councilmember Kim to make another appointment to the Library Board of Trustees. Councilman Kim?
Okay, I don't have any, I requested the clerk to have this person's resignation letter. I didn't have it yet. So I couldn't make any decision yet.
Not at this point,
Not
okay.
at this point.
All right,
I need to have a written resignations to finalizing this form.
all right, sir. Moving on to item number 11. Recommendation is for Councilmember Hurtado to remove her appointee and open the position to be advertised for the required 10-day period for the appointment at May 20th, 2014 City Council meeting, but it doesn't indicate what
I think
commission?
they're just wanting to have this on agenda to have it public, so that the search or the advertising initiates as
What
of
is
now.
this for? What commission?
Economic
Oh, I'm
development.
sorry, I didn't see it. Okay, economic. Okay, very good. All right, thank you. Moving to item number 12, consideration of approval of a lien contract and covenant not to convey, and in parentheses or in brackets here, in lieu of obtaining surety bonds to guarantee the improvements required by the city for the Remington condominium project. Here we go, Mr. City Manager, we're on item number 12, and I believe you're going to need to give some clarification or explanation, but Mr. Servine, you can begin if you like.
Yes, the developer, Marvin Main, has come to us and has asked for us to waive the bonding requirement for him to finalize his map and file the map. And their justification, I checked the justification, is that the property is worth about over 200% of what the bonding requirement is. We went through, we looked at the actual cost estimate for the improvements, public improvements, and we're satisfied that they do indeed hold tight. We've also asked for a appraisal on the property by a professional. It was supplied, and indeed, we have over 200% margin there, leverage, if you will, on the property. So what this means to you, sir, is that the Subdivision Map Act allows you to have the developer bond improvements, guaranteeing that they're going to go through, build them so that they can get their permits to construct and then build the units and sell them off, including mapping the project and selling lots if they wish. So in this case, because of the industry, the way it is in construction, it's very hard to get a bond. So the developer has been talking to me, working with me in trying to see about some sort of mechanism by which they can forego having to bond, because the bond is difficult. So the idea was to put up the property, which is allowed in the Subdivision Map Act, but not allowed in your policy. So we're asking you to look at your policy and to waive that for this project, seeing that there's justification there's a margin and leverage that the property is worth over 2 times more than what they need to bond. This, in fact, will make the property worth more, and they can probably secure funding, and they'll probably proceed with building the project.
And we're protected. We're protected.
We're protected, plus it also brings jobs, it brings housing
Of
to
course.
where we need it.
How large, I'm sure it was been the backup, how large is the Remington condominium project? How many units or?
It's about, let's see, I think,
272 units.
That's good. Okay, city manager, did you want to elaborate or make any comments?
Just a clarification on your background. This is a southwest corner, okay? Because just in case you're trying to figure out where it is, it's the
Yes.
southwest corner. And Councilmember Kim pointed that out to me, and that's why I think we couldn't agree on what was being done, but it's the southwest corner.
It's the old Remington property, right?
Where is this at?
Yes.
Yeah, of what?
It's the old Remington property, right?
98 and
I
80.
don't know.
I
what that-
actually have some maps here. and
98 and Lacey,
Aerials.
Lacey?
80.
Edie.
Just
Oh.
behind the housing authority house.
Right next door to that.
Oh,
Empty
okay.
lots.
Yeah, I know where it is. That's a big empty lot.
He grew up here. Please forgive me,
I went to school with the Remingtons.
okay, thanks. Okay,
A motion for its approval, Mayor?
all right,
I
second
have
that
a
motion.
few clarifications to
Okay.
add.
okay.
If council's considering approving this, the staff would recommend that it's been a subsequent, quite a few months since there's been a title report on the property. So staff would recommend that there be an updated title report to verify that there are not liens or loans on the
Of course.
property. And also that the lien that would be drafted, the city would be in first position on that lien, so that if the city were required to go through a foreclosure proceedings, the city's lien would be in first position.
Very good.
So I have some,
And-
okay, go ahead.
And then the other thing is to specify that the resolution should actually include that the lien would be for $990,368.05, which is in the staff report, it just didn't make it to the resolution.
All right.
So
I have-
those conditions would be added to the resolution.
Councilman Kim?
I have some question about this. This one is when, they said that it has, in order to complete the project, that means that the project, something goes on right now? They've been partially been done, something?
It's vacant right now.
Just vacant,
There's- yeah,
bare
there's
land.
No movement, and there's not going to be any
Okay.
movement.
So this, in case of if we approve it, we're gonna give them the money for the bond?
No, no, no.
Or
no.
we just
We
get?
don't put up a dime.
They have to, well, in case of they issue the bond, we're gonna receive the money for the use it?
As
Keep
a
the
ma-
money?
As a matter of fact, we make it more valuable, and they bring money to us.
No, wait a
We
minute.
bring taxes.
When they bond, the
Yes.
bond money is come to the city to hold it or just to bond it?
But they can't bond.
Secure the bond, so we're not gonna get any money.
That's correct.
Okay. So that case, do you know this land is for sale? It's not intended to build.
I don't know.
According to my research by today, they're selling for the $35 million.
Okay?
So they're not intend to build. They're selling for the $3.5 million. They're not intend to build. They just want to have permit to sell higher price.
So, but if they do, whether we act on this and they sell it, there's no change. We don't lose
Yeah,
money.
but my questioning is why we have to give them too easy to sell them a higher price?
Wouldn't you want to
I don't know
encourage
when they're
building?
going to do building again.
Wouldn't you want to encourage building?
No, not including the building. They're not intend to build. They just intend to sell higher price. They're on the market.
I think we have some reps of the owner here. I don't know if they would like to address that particular issue or not.
I don't believe it would be even the business of the city of Calexico what the property owners want to do. So long as we have a legal binding contract with them.
And we're protected.
That could hold up in court in the event that we would need to have to collect on it. It's none of our business what these developers want to do with their property.
The only reason I say that is because I think they do want to move forward with the project. I could be
Well, I
wrong.
hope they want to build.
But I would like to hear it from the owners because we've been
Please.
talking about this.
Could you say something, please?
You always have a lot to say.
State your name, sir. We know who you are, but please
Good
state your
evening,
name.
Marvin Main, 440 Ethel Street, Calexico. There's about 6 things that I'm trying to do here. And Mr. Kim, everything I own's for sale. I'll sell you my watch. Okay? One, I'm asking and I'm pledging free and clear ground that's worth substantially more than what the map back calls for me to bond. I'm pledging my ground. I'm giving you a first position, a first trust deed. Not a second like other people got, or a third, a first. On top of that, we've gone through tremendous lengths in getting the project to this stage. It is, I would imagine, need to go through another review of the building code, but the vertical plans have been done and approved. We have various entities and various partners. I'm giving the city of Calexico a good portion of land for free upon you recording this map for your widening of Highway 98. Maybe you didn't take note on that.
Thanks for the free land.
Could we have a
Do
little piece
do
of
you
art?
intend to build, Mr. Main?
We intend to build, Mr. Hodge, but the issue is right now in the market is it's a phased development. I don't think the city of Calexico can absorb 272 condominiums right now. Condominium market's very soft. We're probably going to go through the phases of it. We have every intention of starting to build, but to get to step number 1 is I need a final map.
Okay, sir.
And I'm pledging to the city, and I've already made agreements, that I would not ask for any permit till I do my improvements that's required.
All right.
Mr. Mayor, I have some questions.
Sure.
Okay.
You said everything what you own for sale.
Yeah.
Now you said you are willing to build. So what is first?
I didn't say I wasn't willing to build. I don't know yet until I record this map.
So that means you're not sure you're going to build, or you're not sure you're going to sell the land, which comes first.
Whichever comes first, whichever makes me the most money, yes.
Okay, and also we have I believe by the law the big project they have to give the land to the city to the what's called the street. So
don't
that's
ha-
not the free land.
No, you'd have to buy the land from me, actually, under eminent domain, but I'm giving it for free here. I'm giving you something. And something quite valuable, by the way.
Yeah, but the thing is, you said you are everything for you have a sell. I don't need your watch. But the thing is, the
You asked me
city
about my
shouldn't
personal business,
shouldn't
that's what I'm
be
telling you.
engaging any what's called the real estate business. That's what
Excuse
I'm trying
me?
to say. City shouldn't be engaging any real estate business in case of the fails and the not to be done project. We see it's going to be lien, the first lien. But city is not engaging any real estate business and foreclosing and the sale to someone else.
Well, okay, Councilman Kim, but we do believe in development. I don't know if that's,
Oh yes, I like to see that fitted in there. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
But-
100% because they look ugly and they
Is he up?
cut the city in the middle. I really to see the development coming in.
all right. Your
But
3
I
minutes
don't
are up,
see
sir.
the plan.
Are you done for me, Mayor Hodge?
I think we should take
Yeah,
action, Mayor Hodge.
3 minutes are up. Mr. Savine, one more last comment, or?
I just want to add that we're not really changing anything. The Subdivision Map Act allows this mechanism to go through.
Okay.
So there's nothing new here.
All right. And, let the developer move forward, and there's a good chance. And like Councilman Hurtado said, it's really none of our business. Okay? So there's a motion?
Mayor,
So
I have a
moved.
question, Mayor.
Okay. Councilman Castro.
Yes, the way I see it, there is city law, a state law, that every property or every project like that, it has to be, they need to get a security bond. And in this case, they asking to waive
That's true.
our policies. That is true, right?
Yes.
Yes?
It's our policy, City of Calexico.
City of
Nope.
Calexico.
Yeah, other
Right?
cities
Okay.
do not have that
City of
function.
Calexico.
Yes.
Mr. Kim asked you, did you know that property is for sale? You didn't know. You say, I don't know. So that's mean we are risking the city again. There is so many back issues related to this, exactly the same items. In order to waive the policy for them, there is so many property owners or people who wants to make projects in Calexico, they're gonna ask for the same. We need to change the policy? That's my question. We need to change the policy? For me, it's a risk. It's a risk for the city of Calexico.
I'm telling you.
And tell me, how much is gonna cost the security bond? How much is gonna cost? Do you know?
Million.
Well, it doesn't matter because they can't get it. That's the point.
That's- yeah.
And we're not going to have any construction because there's nothing being constructed. Nobody can move to step one. So if you tell the people of Calexico that because you don't agree with what I'm asking for you, the city, as your professional, giving you my professional advice, what the Subdivision Map Act says, you're taking it upon yourself to tell me that this is a wrong decision. The Subdivision Map Act, by people much smarter than you and I put together, have made this decision and have put it out. The city of Calexico has a policy, the city of Calexico. Other cities don't.
Okay, we are talking about the city of Calexico.
Yes, to secure the property by a bond.
Okay.
Or you can do it by letter of credit, cash in bank, cash to the city, or land. You can put up land. It gives you 5 mechanisms by which you can bond, not necessarily through a conventional bond, but these other 4.
That's in our ordinance or in our
That's in the Subdivision Map Act. which is-
subdivision act? Okay.
Yes, which is the key for subdividing land here in California.
Okay, once again, can you just answer Councilman Castro's concern? Is this a risk?
No,
Mr. Sullivan, who owns this, the land? Who owns this land? Mr. Maine or somebody else?
there's a limited partnership, I think it's called Orbis, is that
Yeah,
correct?
Orbis Financial.
Yes.
So bank own the land. The bank doesn't have $1 million to fund themselves.
Again, that doesn't change anything.
I know, I understand that. This bank doesn't have money to own the, bonded $1 million to make us lien it. Thank you.
Okay, I think we've talked this extensively. Was there a motion?
Yes, so moved.
Was
Does
it-
it
I second.
include the conditions that I added?
Yes, including the conditions from Ms. Lyon.
One
about-
question, though, Ms. Lyon, and with regard to what you were mentioning about gifting the land, the street, was it street that you said that you were interested in gifting? Would that gift also be part of the?
No, that's part of the
completely different?
Subdivision Act. I
Okay.
am not familiar with those specific details, but most of the time when developers develop, they have to build streets and widen roads.
That'll
and
be
so
later.
that would all be accepted as part of the final map recordation. The city would accept that dedication at that time. I'm not aware there's.
Later on, okay.
No,
Any
it's
gift
not
of
later on.
land
As
or
soon as we
anything.
record the map, that ground is dedicated to the city.
I see,
Right.
okay, all right.
Okay, very good. Motioned and second. Please vote.
I think we need a class on
It's not working now?
surety bonds.
I have nothing.
Yeah, we knew that.
Okay, it does pass 3-2. All right, moving forward to item number 13. It is recommended that the City Council, number 1, approve a budget allocation of $4,106 each month for a term of 48 months for equipment and software licenses, ongoing maintenance and implementation of the Springbrook Software Incorporation, suite of governmental financial software services. 2, authorize the city manager to execute all necessary documents for the approval system, license, and other fees in a form approved by the city attorney. Mr. City Manager.
We currently have a system that is outdated. We call it the MOM system.
Yeah.
And this system, and before we came to you also to upgrade some of the systems that we were using in our water billing. And that has worked really well and provided us with more efficiency, more ability to produce transactions that are more, that we can quantify. Well, tonight, we're doing the same thing. We're moving forward, we're trying to upgrade the department, and by providing for the software, yes, it's going to cost us at least twice as much as a MOM system, but it's going to be a lot more efficient. It's going to be a lot more effective. One of the things that I always look at, whether it's through my accounting background and being finance director in the past, is always internal controls. And as city manager, I'm very concerned that we have proper internal controls, because if we don't, when they do the audit, then of course, if you don't have proper internal controls, you're going to be called on it, and number two, your audit is going to be extended because they don't feel you have proper control of your system. So this item will allow us to also provide for a better internal control system in our financial department. It would allow us to also not spend as much on our IT because we're working through what's called the cloud, and I'm going to ask John to come up here and explain it because he's a techie, I'm not. But I think the bottom line is it makes our system more defensible. It provides for better internal control. It provides for more efficiency. It provides a lot more reporting, which in today's world, the more reports we can get out of data, the better off we are as managers. We need to have that information. We need to have those reports. And it also provides for the ability for the staff to be more productive, which in the years to come, as we all know, the odds are we're not going to be hiring more personnel. We're just going to have to be more efficient, at least for the time being, until the economy turns around. So that's kind of a general stroke, a broad stroke. I'll let John get into the details about it.
We will move out of the dark ages.
I hope.
All right, Mr. Quinn.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the council. Oscar gave a good introduction of the system. I've been working with Springbrook and their competitors for a number of years.
Can you lift your mic a little closer, sir? Thank you.
And while working with these systems, Springbrook has proven to be very exceptional and probably one step ahead of the competition. So that's one reason we're recommending Springbrook. The other is pricing. Most of the other competition have decided to remain traditional and put in what we would call bricks and mortar into the installation, where this is going to be in the cloud. And what that means is you can access the system anytime, anywhere, as long as you have access to the internet. That makes it a lot easier. It cuts down on the amount of technological stuff you have to install in your installation here. Right now, if we had to upgrade the MOM system, we would have to go around to every single computer that has the MOM system and upgrade that computer. With the cloud, it's already done. You don't even see the upgrade. It's done for you.
Cloud.
In addition to that, the system is up all the time. It has, when people they talk about having a cloud-based system, that they have redundant systems spread out all over the country. And so your system is running on one or more of those computers. And case in point on how effective that is if you recall, a few weeks ago, we had a power outage on a Sunday.
Yes, sir.
And we came back to work, and everybody's computer was down, and
Wow.
the systems all had to be rewound and brought up. And except for our utility billing system, which is also on the cloud, that was up and running, and we didn't even have a blip in service. So the technology is there. It's going to be a vast improvement. The internal controls, I can't emphasize enough that the controls are built into the system. They're automatic, and they do a lot of the work for those who are working with the system. And those who are working with the system on MOM now would be very, very relieved, I guess, because less of that work is hand work and labor intensive. A lot of it is intuitive and it's done on the computer. So it's a massive upgrade in productivity.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Quinn. Are there
Can I
any
ask?
questions? Yes.
Mr. Quinn, congratulations. Moving over to a new system from MOM is going to be a huge task, and I understand that completely. Many of you know I'm a business consultant in the city of Calexico for a really long time. Many of my clients still do their bookkeeping by hand, and getting them to move over to an automated system is not easy. And I guess I have one question. What date are you choosing to actually leave the MOM system and be fully functioning as far as this new system?
Well, what our plan is, if you pass this tonight, we will begin the implementation of the first module, which will probably be the payroll, and the payroll will be up and running within a couple of months. And then from there, we'll move to the accounts payable, and then from there, we'll have the full-on financial system and personnel system. All the other modules will follow within a few months. And so in roughly a year, we would have the system up completely. We won't be converting the data from the MOM system. We'll keep the MOM system and use that for historical reference. It'll be used in sync with our Laserfiche and those systems, but for all historical purposes. And the new system will carry on from day one and start from scratch.
Our old system will go into the museum,
Yeah.
Calexico Museum.
Yeah, probably.
The one other thing that I think is important, and John can certainly elaborate on this, that we've been talking about, is security. Anytime in today's world, we want to talk about security of information, security of personnel. And one of the things we've been talking about is our check-in system with the city in reference to our clocks, which will also go in the museum. They don't make them
Time
anymore,
clocks?
our time clocks. We're probably one of the few agencies anymore that have the cards to check it in and stuff. If you go to the county, it's totally with the card and so on. And one of the things we're looking at that in conjunction with some of these changes is to go to biometric check-in and check-out, where you use your thumb to go into the system, and then it records your time, and then through this whole system and software that we're looking to purchase, the whole end game is that then that would be converted into our payroll system, and we no longer would have to worry about people changing time cards or having to review them 2 or 3 times and spending all kinds of time on that. So that's one of our ultimate goals by making some of these changes.
All right.
I also wanted to say that I recall that when Measure H was just started up, there was a lot of wants that was supposed to be coming out of Measure H, and this new system was one of those wants by the previous director. And I remember that there was about $1 million price around there, and I'm seeing this, and this is actually very reasonable. And considering that what QuickBooks costs just for a simple office, this is actually very reasonable compared to what I saw before. I didn't think that $900,000 was possible for a city to be paying for a system like that. So I support this. I think that we've probably been ready for this for a really long time.
Yeah, staff has really done a real good job in negotiating this deal.
Okay.
That's why us two are involved with
It's a
negotiations.
really good price.
All right, guys. As mayor, it's getting late. I know we have some other items. I want to get to them. But I'm telling you, when it's about 5 to 10, I might adjourn here. So let's move forward. Okay, is there a motion on this?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay, please vote. $10's too late. Okay. All right, well, there I go.
Our cameraman's on time and a half.
All right, it carries unanimously. We've already covered item number 14. Who seconded the motion? I'm sorry. Me. Okay, all right then. We've already covered item number 14. All right, let's move on to item number 15, and we do also have a public comment on that item. What's the proper way? Public first or us?
Well, there's no backup, so public.
Excuse me, public? Okay. Then would Maribel Padilla please come forward? You have a concern about the swimming pool or this item.
I just have a question for Mr. Kim. When I went on the computer to look, you know how you got the link, and it takes you to whatever backup you have for the item that's on this agenda, there was no backup for this pool. It was just him saying, I want to build a pool, basically. It doesn't tell me where he wants to build it, how he's going to get the money, or anything. So, Mr. Kim, if you're going to put an item on the agenda, I would suggest you also put the backup with it. So us, who are actually looking at this stuff, can read, as funny as you think it is, can read and see what you mean or what you're thinking. We might even agree with you, but you don't have nothing there other than, I want to build a pool. And we all know you don't want to build it with the school district. So I don't know how you're going to maintain it, how you're going to pay for it, how you're going to do anything, because there is nothing there. So I would suggest next time, have the supervision to put some kind of backup for this so we can all look at it.
Okay, Councilman Kim, this is your item. We have heard your arguments before, but you have the right to state them again, but let's keep them within 3 minutes. Please go ahead, sir.
Wow, presenting the agenda for the 3 minutes is just nice time. The first of all, I'm thanking for the Mr. Padilla I can have like about almost $200,000 job in myself. Well, that's putting the backup documents by that's a step work, not mine. They never contact me how we put it in. It's not mine. They're not doing their job. It's questionable. And we've been talking last time, so at least that they could put the decent level of the backup, and they didn't do it. They didn't ask me. And also, we go back to the place. The place is going to be Kurmin Park. The money, we already have a $1.4 million from the bond. I believe a CED bond we issued it. We have a $1.4 million there. And Major H committee, they put the $1 million to assign for the pool. They have a $1 million. They will only have a $2.4 million. Mm-hmm. We just need to come up a little more from the Major H this year for the rest of them, because Calipatria, they built by, I believe, a little over $2 million. They built a swimming pool, the Olympic-sized swimming pool. So money there. We don't have to raise any bond, anything anymore, that we can build our swimming pool. They have a Calipatria has a nice, big-sized swimming pool plus recreational swimming pool too.
How are you going to maintain it?
No comments, please, from the public.
And also, during my talking with the people, I have a good suggestion. We can build several different types of snack bars. And the snack bars, that we can rent it, creating revenue to maintain the swimming pool. Not only that, we might can put some nighttime or afternoon time, regular opening hours, we can rent it for the family party or quinceañera party, or they have piñatas. So we can have a block of several different sections. We can rent it. We can create the revenue from there.
Piñata.
So we can have the revenue coming into the maintaining our swimming pool. And city wants to do that, about less than $3 million. It's up to the city council member. And they want to put a $7.2 million swimming pool, and with the paying $500,000 for the architect. That's my presenting the items. I'm gonna do written my statements when my comment time.
Okay, is there a motion and then second and further
I
discussion?
make the motion to.
Okay, is there
I'll second for discussion, Mr.
second
Mayor.
for discussion? Go ahead, Mayor Pro Tem.
I recall a couple of weeks ago, we had a joint meeting with the school board.
That is correct.
And we adopted a resolution to work closely with the school board in a joint powers agreement to build a swimming pool. It was discussed at that time that either entity could not build the pool on their own, and that pooling the money together, we could get this constructed. I even suggested to our city manager and the director of maintenance and operations for the school district to look at the cost of the swimming pool in 2 phases, to eliminate phase 3, which is close to $3 million, and in turn drop the price by set amount. So I don't know why we're continually wasting our time on this, even though Mr. Kim does have good ideas and good intentions, but the memorandum of understanding has been agreed upon.
It's been set.
By this council and by the school board. Let's work on what we have. The plans have been drawn. There is a eyesore where the pool was. I think it would be in the best interest of CoCLX that we look at constructing the pool there, eliminating phase 3, eliminating the costs, and work with the state, Senator Ben Wessels' office, on acquiring more money. So if this council wants to go this way, I'll respect it, but I remind you, we've already went into an MOU to develop a pool with joint powers agreement with the school district and the city. I don't know why we're continuing this discussion.
All right.
Well, Mr.
No,
Hodge-
no, no,
Okay,
no,
wait a minute.
no,
Let me-
wait, no, sir, no rebuttal.
No,
He
not
has
the
spoken.
rebuttal. I'm not on rebuttal.
to
Right
No
now,
rebuttal. Let the
I'm
others
talking about the
speak.
condition about the you guys, the
Councilman
Mr.
Kim.
Hodge and the
Councilman
Mr.
Kim.
Moreno. You are
The rule
conflict
is
of interest.
everybody
You have
has a right. You can have a second turn, but rules of order says everyone else needs a first speak. Then you can come back, sir. No rebuttal.
But I'm talking about
All
your
right.
conflict of interest.
Councilman
Mr.
Castro, please go ahead, and then I'll.
Mayor,
You will have a
Mr.
second chance.
Mr. Moreno, he's right. We can continue to work with Senator Wessel. We can work with, also, I heard that Mr. Vargas, the congressman, I hear from the Assemblyman Perez. We can work with them. We can look for a grant. And it doesn't mean because we pass a resolution that it's going to cost more, it's going to cost, that decision is going to cost more to the city. It doesn't mean we need to follow that route. I mean, a few minutes ago, three colleagues, my colleagues, you guys waived the policy on the security bond. So that means we can change any resolution that we make. It doesn't mean if we already decide on that, we can change that. That's my point on that. And basically, the way I see it, if we can save money, if there's another option to save money, I'm willing to work on that. And also, I have a question from city attorney. Mr. Moreno, he's working for as administrator for the school district. Mr. Bill Hash, the mayor, he's working as a teacher.
Yeah.
Is there
No
a
summer
conflict
school.
or not? Yeah, I want to hear from you, city
Yeah,
attorney.
that's been brought up. Please answer that.
Both of the mayor and the mayor pro tem work for the school district, but school district is another government entity. And under the rules of the Fair Political Practices Commission in California, they don't consider income that you receive from another public entity as a financial conflict of interest. So the issue is, do they both feel like they can decide a matter fairly? It's not a financial conflict, it's a common law. Do they feel like they can decide it fairly? That's up to them to decide, just as you decide on your conflicts. Each council member decides on their own conflicts.
Okay.
But it's not a financial conflict because government income does not count as a financial conflict under state law.
All right. Not a
Okay.
financial conflict.
Thank you, I understand that. The other issue is, there is believe, 5 school district members who work for the school district. I believe they can influence on them as a teachers.
Well, any of us.
Yeah, and that's something came up on my mind. Why? Because there is 5 public officials for the school district.
Well,
And, I mean, they can decide if they 3 or the majority of the votes, they can influence in each of these teachers or administrators. That is my point.
all right. All right. Thank you.
That's it.
All right, Councilwoman Hurtado, any comments?
Just quickly a comment. The location of where our pool was on the high school property, and what we're trying to do is just replace what was there already and damaged by the earthquake. What I don't understand from having to bring this up one more time, and it's kind of disheartening to see that we had the meeting, the joint meeting, and everything was already on a certain path, and here we come again with, and actually it's kind of embarrassing to see that we keep bringing this up. If you want something that's cheaper, I think that's probably then what you should say. But by saying that you don't want to do this project together with your children at the school district, my question to you is, why do you feel that the children don't deserve a pool on their property? The children will benefit from this, not us. And so I think that it's just wasting our time. We should already be working on building our pool.
Okay. All right, very good. And I agree, as a mayor, I have a greater concern for the community. I believe that the majority of the community want a pool. I understand that it's good to look for options that are cheaper, but I remember that the joint meeting, that it just meant we're going to move forward to work together, and in the process, we can make adjustments. But Phase 3, that's going to be, wasn't that going to be completely paid by the school district?
As I understand it, the school district has the ability to go after state funds because we're doing a joint venture.
Okay. So as far as city is concerned, that's their thing, Phase 3.
We have nothing to do with Phase 3.
All right. So wish them good luck, but we're not going to pay for that. So it's Phase 1 and Phase 2. I do have some reconsiderations about the borrowing of the money from Measure H. I'm not saying I'm making a decision here. I'm just expressing my reconsiderations. Because City Manager, I heard the other day that the city came to Measure H for $5,000 for an air conditioner, and if that's the case, then, I mean, can we even afford to borrow from Measure H? I wish, and I know there's a timeline, but maybe we might consider, and we'll have committees, but I do wish that I wish we didn't have to go to the general fund at all. And I wish the timing was right, that Senator Wesso, and I know there's no guaranteed, that maybe there might be some proper timing here. Maybe if we held off a little more, we could get the money from Senator Wesso. Also, there's the issue, and City Manager, at the SCAG convention, I spoke to Ralph, please forgive me, his last name? Cordova. And he said that John Renison had a serious discussion or explanation to Superintendent Ambriz about part of the counties from the solar projects. What is it called? The public needs?
Benefit money.
Benefit money. And it's divided into agriculture and community. They're just beginning to establish. But did Superintendent Ambriz share that meeting with you?
No, she has not at this point, but I'm sure she will.
Okay, because, Cordova mentioned that there's possibilities there. But the thing now is that we're in a tight timeline.
Well, remember that before we go out to bid, we have to make sure we have the money in place. We're looking to go out to bid sometime in July is what the time frame calls for, I believe. And so we need to have an MOU in place by then and have all the deal points ironed out. The deal points in reference to the financing side of it are pretty much ironed out. We need to iron out the deal points in reference to the usage of the facility. But, so if we have the money in place, we can go out to bid, and between then and the time we actually have to award, then if there's any changes, then changes can be made. But if we don't follow the schedule at this point, we will not have a pool by next summer.
Okay. Maybe we might have to wait a little later, so that my belief is so that we don't tap on the general fund. That's just my reconsideration. I'm not saying, but we'll move forward, and maybe something good can happen. But we're going to pursue the public benefits also.
Well, yeah, the superintendent is doing that, and we, as you well know, we are in contact with Senator Wessell's office and with Frank, and they are trying to get money to fund Phase 2 and Phase 3.
But okay.
Because at this point, to fund Phase 1, we would never make the timeline.
All right, we'll have further discussions on it. As far as this item, for just the city alone to do it, I am against it. So is there, okay, there was a motion and a second?
to reject.
Mr. Hatch, I need to talk. I need to comment.
Okay, you have
my
one
time.
more time, sir, and then we need to move forward. I don't want to,
Okay.
okay.
First of all, by the law might not be considered as a conflict of interest, but ethically, yes, you are both, because you cannot against your boss. The school district is your boss. You have two school board members conducting on you guys. Okay, my written statement is May 6, 2014. The resident of the Calexico deserve a new swimming pool. The city needs to own its own pool. The city needs to move forward immediately and start with the swimming pool. Forming a partnership with the school district sounds good, but school district has heavy financial problems and the many maintenance problems. They can't afford it. When I was on the school board, district board member, the past board spending all the money on the high-priced lawyers, architects, and the consultants. The last 2 years, I have witnessed that the meeting on the pool have been held privately, no reports to, no transparency, and the plan presented forward was $7 million. That was terribly and overpriced. We need one recreational pool, and we all know that the district already spending on architects over $500,000 for terrible plans that we cannot afford it. The district has not even committed money, and they have known about this for a long time. June Kim, Calexico City Council members. If we doing ourselves, we can build the 6 to 8 months, we can finish. That's why it was suggested last December, this council denied it. And now again, they want to deny this one. If we don't do it right now, add together, we cannot have next year's swimming pool neither. And our city, our kid and community suffer with that.
All right, can you please wrap it up, sir? We've heard your arguments. That's it?
We have to see.
Just wrapped up.
Okay, very good. Thank you,
We have to
Councilman
see.
Kim.
We have to see the possible to build a swimming pool, to get the revenue, to maintaining to the
Okay.
pool.
All right.
So city pool is the answer.
Mr.
All right.
Mayor, real
Okay.
quickly.
No, let Councilwoman Hurtado, go ahead.
Yes. You know, I do take offense to when Mr. Kim consistently indicates that the subcommittee for the pools were in secret meetings, and that's just plainly not true. If there's anyone here that may have a conflict, it may be Mr. Kim, being that he was a defendant in a lawsuit from the school district.
Oh, boy, here we go.
And that there may be some feelings there of resentment that this is still insistent in the mind of Mr. Kim to continue with this. It would have been very helpful, Mr. Kim, if you would have been at that meeting, because you would have heard the finance director of the school district indicating that this is not a problem for the school district. But you did not come that day.
No, I repeatedly
And that would have
asked
been
that.
very helpful if you would have been here, and we would have all had that conversation.
All right. Councilman
So-
Hurtado, did you want to make a motion?
I want to make a motion to go ahead and refuse.
I need the rebuttal.
Go ahead and,
No.
I need the rebuttal.
No, sir.
You gave her two
We're not going to
chances
go
and
on
give me
for
chance.
this ever. Go, what did you do? You made a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to reject the
To reject.
consideration.
You act like a
Mayor.
council.
I'll second it.
Okay, all those,
Mayor, I just want to clarify, there was a motion and a second
There
for
was?
discussion. There was.
We
I
did.
don't
There
know
was.
what the
Okay.
motion was, but I believe John
darn.
Marino seconded it.
Okay, we wanted to do like Councilman Kim does all the
I
time.
set it for discussion.
Okay, all right, we've had enough discussion, so please vote.
Why you give her the
There's-
two
There's a
chances?
motion.
Why the one person
Sir,
to
you
have
had
two
two
chances?
rounds,
I
sir.
want a chance to, but
I
I'm not
just
complaining.
submitted.
I want a
No, no,
chance
no,
to.
I
no,
explained
calm
it.
down.
I
Call for the
first
question,
of
Mayor.
all, once
Call
first
for the
thing is,
question.
I
Call for the
explained
question
it.
means we vote?
We
Let's
vote.
vote.
Right,
Shut
right,
up.
but let's just clarify, the motion was by Mr. Kim.
Okay,
So
second?
everybody knows, okay.
All right, second on this item. Let's vote.
Oh, okay, what was it?
We're voting on approving this or not.
I made the motion to approve it.
Yes, you did, sir.
To give direction to staff to continue working
Yes.
on a municipal, city municipal.
Right.
Okay, I reject that
What,
then.
what it is here.
I abstain, I'm in conflict of interest.
You are? Oh, come on.
Come on, John.
Okay. All right. All right.
You're
It
in
does
good
not
standings,
pass.
though, John.
It's the second time it's come. We've been fair with this item, and it has gone down once again. Finally, Mr. Barraza, thank you for your patience. Item number 16, participate in consolidated contracting opportunity for paratransit dial-a-ride services. I'm sorry. Yes, I am sorry. Maribel Padilla, please come forward. And then Mr. Basa, if you want to make comments. Okay. I'm going to hold this to one round of 3 minutes for each, and then we vote. We're going to get out of here. Go ahead.
I'm so glad Mr. Mr. Castro brought up the conflict of interest. I'm going to ask Mr. Castro to recuse himself from this matter because it's a transit issue. He doesn't have to leave the building like he did earlier when he recused himself for that other item. He can stay here quietly, but I would ask him not to vote. Because if he drives a bus for CoCLX Transit, and we have pictures, he is part of that company and he should not vote on this. If you have a problem with these two teachers over being on the school district, do you think we don't have a problem with you voting on items on transit when you drive the buses? I would hope you do the ethical thing, and right now, before they start, recuse yourself.
Okay. Thank you. Now,
Mayor,
yes, sir.
can I answer?
Make it short, sir.
Yeah,
Rebut.
sure. Yeah. Maribel, you know what?
Direct it to us, sir. Direct it to
No,
us.
no.
I don't want to get in a debate. Direct it
It's
to
not a
us.
debate, just.
Make your comments, sir.
answer?
Yeah, but to
Yes
us,
or no?
to us, to
I
us.
don't wanna argue with no
Yes,
one.
to us.
I want to explain to Maribel because
To-
you continue.
Say it
with this.
generally, say it generally, to us.
General. Well,
Okay.
let the state decide on that. The state can decide on that. Not you, not the council. I already explained several times this issue, and let the state decide that.
Well, let them decide.
No, I don't, no exchange, just make your comment. That's it.
That's it.
Stop. Mr. Labasa, your comments on this, and then we'll open up for discussion. If there's discussion, if not, we're going to vote on this. Go ahead, sir.
Mayor,
Okay.
before we let Mr. Bassa speak, I think
Yes.
we probably should let staff give a staff report.
Okay, staff
Nothing
report.
against Mr. Bassa, but I'm sure he'll have some comments.
Okay, because we're getting out of hand here.
The item that you have tonight is an item that's been put in play a while back when you decided that you wanted to participate with the county, with the ICTC, to go ahead and bid out these services as a consolidated basis. And you have the letter before you, dated September 29, 2011. They've gone through the process. They've actually bid this thing out. They had committees from the technical committee to the management committee. Mr. Serene serves on the technical committee. I serve on the management committee, all the way up to the council level for ICTC, which, of course, Mayor Hodge serves on that. So tonight, we are at a crossroads to decide whether or not we're going to continue to participate, which means we're going to centralize these services, And the documentation that you have before you, and I'm sure Mr. Baza will refer to it, shows that if we were to continue to provide these services separately versus on a consolidated basis, if we provided on a consolidated basis, we could provide the same services for 9% less in cost.
We're going to save money.
Which would then go back to transit system, transit items. So I'll leave it at that. I know Mr. Baza has a lot more to
All right,
probably.
Mr. Baza?
Thank you, Mayor and Council and City Manager. But I guess what I'll just kind of, Oscar did a good job of summarizing the process. We did invite 14 firms to bid on this. We only received 5 proposals, and 4 were considered qualified enough to receive an interview. And so we went through this whole process of evaluating them for their qualifications, for their abilities to operate the service. And then just to, in the case of the top-ranked firm, it is your current operator, First Transit.
Okay.
That is the firm that we will be taking a recommendation to the commission. But I'll just summarize a few things that were clear about them. Their proposal was clear and concise about their organizational structure, the designated staffing, as well as the designated operations manager for this new service. It also had a proposal for operations facility, staff to perform in-house fleet management or maintenance, which is very important for us as we need to be assured that you have a qualified team to maintain what will now be ICTC buses, no longer owned by an operator. And then that they offered innovative technology, one to provide to do the dispatching of buses, as well as data record management. For an agency like ICTC or any agency that is responsible for state and federal funds, we have a whole lot of data reporting requirements. And this software that the top-ranked firm, or even some of the top-ranked firms offered, it allows us to consolidate those reports in a much simpler way by using computer software, whereas currently, your current operator, as well as in other instances, use handwritten reports and et cetera. So that was one of the plus. This is data related to the fare box revenues as well as the ridership. The top-ranked proposal contained a clear and concise startup and transition, that's very crucial. In this case, we're proposing to consolidate 5 different services. So for them to articulate and to have a plan to transition all of those services together. And then one that's very important to us as a recipient of federal and state funds is what's their description of how they would meet the disadvantaged business enterprise goal. The top-ranked firm clearly identified that, as well as to identify potential sub-vendors that are qualified as disadvantaged business enterprise. One of the last things is that this was special about this top-ranked firm, and that is the approach to implementation of certification and eligibility, making sure that we do have seniors, we do have disabled persons that are using these services. And so, we started this process back in 2011. We've just now getting to it, and we do believe there's a savings, as was talked about. And one of those big savings is that ICTC will do the heavy lifting for you on a daily basis. Whatever service in the city of Calexico, it will be the city's service. We will just be your manager of that service. You guys will be your staff will be a part of a coordinating committee that we would meet, as often as needed. Or if you hear of if your staff or you guys get complaints or anything of that nature, you would tell us about that. We would directly handle that with the operator. It would relieve your staff from, having to respond to those issues on a daily basis. We feel really good about the choice that we're proceeding with, and we do feel like it's a benefit to the region to consolidate the dial-a-ride services.
Thank you, Mr. Bassa. Stay close. Let me tell you what we're going to do. Mr. Savine, are you going to comment? You're just there. Okay. It's late, so I am now going to give each council member, if they wish, 2 minutes, and that's it, because we pretty much know where we stand on this, each and individual. So 2 minutes each. Is there anyone that wants to ask Mr. Bassa, and you give him all the respect, any questions, or do you want to make a comment? But it's 2 minutes, and that's it. Anyone?
I'd just like to ask, all the other cities are on board
No.
with this idea? Or you're going towards them?
We're still taking actions to that, but I will tell you that just this evening, the city of El Centro opted out of the consolidated
Okay.
dial-a-ride.
And they're going to have other options?
They're satisfied with the current operator that they
I see,
that
okay.
they have at this time.
At this time?
Okay.
Okay. Anyone else?
I'm sorry.
Let's make a motion second, and then we can continue questioning. Is there a motion?
I motion for
Not to
approval.
approve it.
I'm sorry, I started.
No.
Motion to not approve it.
No,
I
here we
believe I
go again.
started to commence my words. I believe I started to talk first.
You were not through.
Motion for its approval.
Okay.
I made a motion to not
Second.
approve it.
No, we had a motion for approval first. We're not going to go that route.
And
Kim.
approval is the approval to be part of the
correct.
consolidated transportation.
That is correct. And there's a second. Now, any discussion, further discussion?
We
Mayor Pro
are-
Tem? Any further discussion?
May I just add that I did see that it says that we can opt out before, I believe it said before going out to bid? Or after the bid process? I just saw that.
Well, we have completed the bid process.
Oh, you did? Okay.
We are, now what we will do is follow up, the city of Brawley did opt in already. We'll be taking the action to the city of Imperial, but we'll be proceeding with an altered process depending on who's in and who's out.
Okay.
In the case of your city, there is no change, there would, in terms of the operator, wouldn't be a change.
Okay. All right. There was a first and a second on this
Mr. Mayor.
item. There was no further
Mr. Mayor,
discussion.
just
Please vote.
just one question. I know you want to get out of here.
Yes, please.
I presume we're going to have like an MOU or something that documents what the rights of ICTC are and how we're going to communicate back and forth, or some kind of documentation, is that
Yes,
correct?
yes.
Okay.
All right. All right. Please vote.
Okay, wait a minute.
No.
I cannot talk?
No, because there was no more further discussion. Please
What's
vote.
mean no more further discussion? I don't have a chance to talk. And you wanna shut me down?
We know he's against it.
What? Okay. 2 minutes, Kim. Go.
Wow.
2
he knows
minutes.
I'm against it. He doesn't want me to talk.
2 minutes, Kim.
That's how you running the city.
2 minutes, Kim. Go.
First of all, this is how it works. First of all, our city mayor acting like a king. And this one is we cannot forward it to control by the ICTC in our service. We got size enough to control ourselves to our own service. That we used to have a better service than now. A lot of seniors was complaining. Then we should have opened the door for ourselves to deal with the other company. For example, they have ARCS and Imperial Valley. They have another ones that they're possible. And also, we should not exclude our local service to be in bidding process.
No comments, please. Allow Kim to speak.
That is the one on the big issues. We should should bring the customized service for our city and our seniors. And we should not customize it some of the interest groups. And also, our city is the city of Calexico. A lot of cases in countywide, we're not representing our interest. We are just belonging there following their decision. We should make our own decision for ourselves, not to giving up our right to the other county level. That's my big concerns. So we should not approve this project.
All right. Thank you, Councilman Kim. Any further discussion? Councilman Castro, 2 minutes.
Okay, I agree 100% with Mr. Kim because we, as a city, we need to take care our own decision in the majority of the contracts like this. Why? Because we've been passed through so many problems with transportations, and there is so many seniors are complaining right now with the system, with especially with seniors. Why? Because they say, they approach to me, I told them, you know what, I can't mention nothing about transportation. Guess what? Because you know what, Castro, you want the transportation for your family. And I tell them, you know what, you should go up there to the council and explain to them, because, I mean, we know the people here in Calexico, we know the seniors, and they are complaining. They have the problem that they call to First Transit, and not even from one day to the other one, there's not a transit available. And come on, these people call to the city, guess what? The city, nobody knows about that. Yes, it is, Mr. You know what? I've been talking to you related to this issue. On the past, the last year, I asked you to the 10% fair ratio, and I show you. You gave me those numbers, Nick, and you know what? They never was on compliant with those numbers. Guess what? You tell me, oh, those are little mistakes from the finance department or from the people in charge of this and that. Guess what? Fair box ratio means that if they don't comply with the 10%, guess what? They don't take care of the customers.
All right, put closure, Mr. Council.
For me,
Castro.
yes, just give me half a minute. For me, this issue is very concerning me. Why? Because the people knows, the people, especially the seniors, they know that this company, they don't comply with them. They don't care. Basically, First Transit, ICTC, for me, you guys working with the county, working with the city, but guess what? You guys are very cold with my people, with the citizen of Calexico. That's the reason.
I do want to make a comment.
That's the reason
30 seconds.
I'm telling you, for me, it's a bad decision.
Okay, end it, please.
To consolidate this to ICT.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Castro.
To Mr. Castro.
I don't have any further discussions. Can we vote on this?
Well, I take ill exception from Mr. Castro to question my conflict of interest on a previous item when we know he himself has a clear conflict of interest with his son owning that bus company and him driving the bus.
All right.
He should not even be speaking on this item. He should not even accusing anybody of anything but stepping down and doing the ethical thing
right there.
that he himself so proudly says that he does.
All right, let's-
So, but let me finish.
Getting a little
Please.
tired of
Let me
this.
finish. And for Mr. Kim to say not to work with the county, but yet he wants to go out to the county and provide all the services to this border patrol station that's 2 miles down
He
the road.
wants to be a supervisor.
So there is contradiction in their decisions.
Okay, sir.
And I am just, I'm taken aback by how they say one thing and they speak on the other side of their mouth.
All right, I don't want to get in an argument.
But
Can
I'm
you
not
end it?
arguing.
No.
I'm-
Yeah, can you just put it
Wait a
into-
minute, wait a minute. If everybody gets a chance to speak, I should get a chance to speak.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Hermosillo.
Put
And
it-
I call for the question, and that's it.
All right, very good. Let's
You
vote on
tell me
this.
when to stop. I'll tell myself when to stop.
We're out of hand here. We're out of hand. We're out of hand. It's late.
Christ.
It's late. We're out of hand. Let's vote.
We already did.
Let's vote.
We already did.
Well,
They're right
no,
there.
we have 2 other people that need to vote.
Well, we
We already know the
they're gonna vote.
decision.
Let them vote, please. Castro and Kim, please make your vote, yes or no? All right.
Maybe
Okay,
it's a
it's
white-
late and we're out of hand.
white-
Castro, sir, are you going to vote? All right, it passes 3-2, and I adjourn this meeting.
Thank you.
The other items are carried over.